Okay, that's it, bro.
Na apomu ye de.
Na me dia say.
Ye da nyame ase. Mete wo nka na ache kakra. Apomu ye.
Boko pa. Say na what you be e dey you this year.
Yes. Obviously. And mudi dwuma bi wo mo headquarters. Na yenka bi nhyɛ mu de yɛte yɛ ne sɛ mudi petition bi akɔ akɔma Commonwealth Secretariat. Na musi omonya modan same.
Yo, we need that shit. The kind Malaysia yet floor and they would who followed me on social media thing now. Let me say Ghana 1957 you joining 1957 you nya your fan who dey under your man pinye with the kind osaje for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. So afinimu ana you join the Commonwealth of Nations. And Commonwealth of Nations ekua amama ibria eje abuchire hima embra wo wa ye aduma ye fel Commonwealth etum adjoin. Ghana is a member of the Commonwealth of Nations, and since you're joining in 1957, no, we've been a very committed member. Yeah, adhere to the ideals, the values, and the objectives of the Commonwealth of Nations. Now, so over 1991, and Commonwealth, Harare, we issue the friend Harare Declaration. Omo ekan wo say e was say Commonwealth Nations nyina e de nipa fa hodie your friend human rights and fundamental freedoms ye adwuma na enoboa ema academic enkoso. Now ebe se infienum ni a Omampenye Akufo-Addo aban ebetena kunwa so ye hu se aban na namo a wotu no eyade a odi tietia NDC mpanyinfo ene nsɛmtwerɛfo ene Ghana fo bibre efa hodie so a eno no ensem fata Ghana as a member of the Commonwealth. Eyade a egu Ghana animu ase as a member of the Commonwealth. Because over film retention be seen there, ye start say, Tabimaminke diamamu, ya guarantee fundamental human rights and freedoms and press freedoms that any senka sampenswa or my Ghana yedri and ka yatoto or mount for fan with the asekra. But the Kamia say, or Mampenye Akufo-Addo, ni MPP aban we better na konyaso 2017 be seen no. Omo de Ghana ekonechia etese ehuluhuna akata so ho ena omo de edi Ghana for enkankan any NDC for any nsɛmtwerɛ for yakabia aban no enti eno nti yatena se hu se yen developmental partners any eku ahodo a oman Ghana ye join the Commonwealth ne de keka ho ya ntwe won adwe nsi sa nsem na ekoso Ghana ne so a omadi beba omo so na aka achi because omadia ototo kadmami nkebia se ototo ne manfo fa hodie ase no etietie nipa fa hodie so no sa oman no eni da chepa sa oman no enya ade asumdue betumi atena mu dada ndi ye pese asumdue etna Ghana dada na ye kadmami nkedi egi hini na oman ni timi tumpon dia then as the largest opposition party as citizens of Ghana no and this year trans high massa human rights violations no and the criminal persecution of opponents of this government no ekoso e was here sorry kasa the kana wontie so a any platform any forum bia ye betumi e de sansem na ko na yakosere won se won so mfa wani ni akiri ontu ho anamon na onhwe se aban no be ye de ese na fata no e was ye enu nti ne ye de sa petition we akwa the Commonwealth of Nations the Secretary General or Masoya London, United Kingdom. Now Obi the petition ni mono titia. Yes say
Asempa FM.
Yedi kan NDC ye members ni empenyimfo bebree wa aban no etiatia won fa ahodie so a yaye bia enya de aban ni na de bia da ekoso. In fact, it is even getting worse. And baby economy yaye nyan. The first example I am ye national chairman Yura Samuel Ofuswampofo ene aban no de nakwa kugina court wa omo twe na bo so ye dinani abra papa no nye boni dia ye nyina ye ni ayawa so west bogon by election e course 2019 this year ye started elections no anopa no ndu kra mo na aban o teso no ne national security for aye de enim so mo ye MPP tax na so aban no ahye won tare ama won tuo ekoto share ye parliamentary candidate or na wujina ma ye wa ya wo so weso gon ho ni fie ekoto tu atu a nipa bibiri prepare ho ye hwe se na 93 asem ni si kwa wo prepare nipa na eni aye nyan nti ye national chairman Pentecost Eldemu opasumdwi a non pese aba 20 ye bekum nipa o ye se abanokra no NDC ye twe en wafiri so mo zo bekum nipa because of one parliamentary seat. The elections in the Kwano, we withdrew from it. Yen call for Uncle Twaba. Yet Wabani Ye na chairman ne party for Kasaye. Yina Manenka na Yama Kumamra from the Adia. Na Yahusen MPP for Kuku Asem say your chairman crana or no mum. Am I a boycott to election? Said the Bayer Buju could be a man or no mum. Apalane say obedi nipa bi no mawu obekede ndapo nipa bi no ya kukura ya chechera asem weni mato ne so bosirimka ye de na court adansi ni wen a obedi adansi ama oman no ana aban no se ampa chama ofuso ampofo oye wudi nya wabo ni tim to se opese odi ebi no mawu ana o kidnap obi yesi o adansi ni no ye nsem ni bi a oye adwuma wo Adom FM ya yimia Akufo-Addo.
Yes.
Akufo-Addo ba court na a lawyer for to na no. So why ya dance cartel dia dance say yampa chama ofuso ampofo abopo bi say obeye we. Dance cartel na ni nikita wona na Akufo-Addo say e de na muke. Cartel minim bi ewom.
Ekosiisen on
Media police for frame so mu ye hwehwemu bi. Nti me mesan bi na mesan ye. De wo cartel ni manyame na me twere ye. Enyame na me kan ye minim ho asem bia obi senkaye o man bia common law emra ye adwuma pa na mra periperi yo ye adwuma nka asem no sa da na na wosen ki twem because if the chief or the star witness of the prosecution say ne witness statement okra no oni mu ohia, why must that witness statement even be accepted as part of the evidence? In that time, we was for yet in any action. I say, what court to borrow 70 times over this case. Now, yes, Yakita for double MPP, sir, in Titrafo, where I have your national security. A prepra one, ye bobby two. All the videos are there. Me person make kayeti for you. Ye the chains bro nipa ye papa ye unarmed. Omonya she. Prepra almost ano besinne o manpenye o tie konwa so on ka asem we wo hwe ya kokora no o ma wo mu bi o bu prepra koda hospital wan ko hwe obi a sister ba ko ne na mabu besi no timi na se obi anya fra o manpenye ti nyan kosra wo compensation in line with human rights of these people are o humanity aso no e wo se ye de ma o mu no besinne short commission, a Bainankata House on recommendations. We should compensate the victims. No compensation has been paid to them. Not even a word of commiseration, a word of sympathy from the first gentleman of the land. And Sadia we akoso. And Pampa Sadia we ekoso na Bainanya Washino. MPP mpanyinfo bi etimi ba abonten they are chairman for Bono region. So the omudi ye wo ayawaso no kra de isa a dress rehearsal for 2020 election. Now 2020 election mo be yam more. Ye kan aban na ntie 2020 omo ye mo ampa. E ma Ghana de shi kronkron enwo twia no mo nye boni bia. December 7th election ikum omo ya besine. Omo so besine Omampenye Akufo-Addo kan omu kum no ehun asem bia asojafo na abubo bituo ye mpata wo ye nya di bia to compensate their families they say ye jane san na ye fully state they said ye Ghana asem bia ba ye jane san and this age doesn't even include sellers that young teacher trainee ofri banda ho ba bia ye ya abato di ntwire MPP teacher fo ya go hia no. So people have been maimed, people have been killed, people have been murdered. The president is quiet. On can once a year. And the short commission class say, I also was going. We want sir, in the national security, or chairman of the National Security Council. And Guno, because Ghana Ebra double. Oni who kwanta national security ni okita tuoka kakase yentwe na so Alhassan sa MPP ntitire ni na wakwashe national security a obo a certain member of parliament Sam George no ni sa kwan no yentwe na so omampanyisi onyan sa na nye sa atra wa issue white paper wa clear omu nyina de ojetu mu kwa so be prosecution no kwa no be sin years ni onye na ye chairman na ono no maye boycott election ma sumdue ba ye ni mom ahon kuma no makra no ompira awanse na kra no ono ye de need record de bi otwa court kwan masa intentional way in what democracy especially in what Commonwealth country and what's the question. So we are telling the Secretary General of the Commonwealth say adie we there and send fata Commonwealth a Commonwealth nation like Ghana I member since 1957 nti omo hwe na omo fo manini akire na omo ne abinding ka ho asem sebi obi wa was ye twe na so a anyway, yes, I'm confirmed this and I was any December 7th elections. And you're national chairman. So now Patabi why was I buying Yama one ye prepra on yet our phone this one. O Mantanini not Makaka, not for some patano and Fama one. Yet also you know, and they can't once and obi. Hey, you were Dr. Puni, and you were Sidwa Gungo. Abide you one of our Kujina court. Sebi obi yanka se obi be somo man na osomo man ni wie aban foforo ba na ye be yenhwehwemu na aban foforo ni fi se onu akọ no wetietia Ghana mran so a yentumi fa ne nkojina court. This is not the first time one aban bi abadi obi akọ akojina court. It is Omampenye Akufo-Addo de sedu agongo ni owu opuni akojina court se omumu omadwuma omo ye ho akonta boni biani. In principle there is nothing wrong. Because as former public servants, they need to account for their stewardship. It's a new problem. But Yemra, any the principles governing such trials, let's say, Obi biya ababo no or ye presumed innocent until proven guilty. And Obi mebwa.
No.
Nanso, ye senia court first would do Dr. Punia senia. Ekamia ye say Dr. Puni judge what ya say no so ye friend no justice on in Uganda wo bua ne fodada enunti ne fa wudi a wo to a fair trial as an accused person no court no 88 so e wo ye ya bin na asem no say wo follow a media ya sounds so abufu say in a democracy like Ghana a criminally accused person will be treated that way. When he has a right to be presumed innocent or to proven guilty, and he has a right to a fair trial. Dr. Punya said, when he said, as part of fair trial, no, what Bobby could do not the Nikojina court. All right to fair trial. Ya dance ye bia. Who ya wujina so de this assembly, whatever the man. That dance ye no be why establishing innocent. It is a cash. Whatever the man.
Yes.
A police for your Mushemu or Dr. Puni Wasem, and they are buying Omampenye Akufo-Addo. ne na to ni gye no mo ye hwemu no omo ne akuafo koku akuafo bi di nkomo koku akuafo ne ma omo adanse nkrata witness statement ye di asem ye hu se witness statement ni bi wo ho a akuafo ne ka se sa agri court say do agongo fertilizer Dr. Punima ne supply my cocoa border e no na e ho aba asem agongo fertilizer na ye papa e boa ma omu cocoa kura no omu timi tere mo omu nya mo cocoa back nanso aban no area persecution and not prosecution ti sa critical evidence establishing the innocence of the accused person Dr. Opunini said do agongo no aban ne ka share one famma the accused persons eno nanche no eno nanche no obi judge ya wati asem no so no ye start ya ye di asem na anche ne yekoto aba 2016 maybe 2016 yekoto aba 2020 yeah ye to aba no
Ekosiisen on
judge wati
Asempa
asem no so ye
FM.
judge so onyeju go oye ohene ewo fragmentum krobi ewo ho wabodwa Omampenya Akufo-Addo akowa o se Omampenya Akufo-Addo ne manfo nyina nto abama no me say na Ghana article 276 of the Amamra 1992 constitution say judge there ohene enya politics judge so enya politics it see then na judge was also your ohene etumi koka say ne manfo nto aba e ma Omampenya Akufo-Addo na kire say sa judge ontumi nye fair judge has so ya promote na ko Supreme Court o Omampenya Akufo-Addo ni a odi Dr. Punia Samama no se say mianka nwie ya promote na ko Supreme Court wasanso akwa say wakoye campaign am Omampenya Akufo-Addo ye say onko gina nchen because yenyi ni se obema periperi ya adwuma ma tentre ni ya adwuma judge si onko ne enko china bia ye bia se judge ni ba ko gina nchen o so wo nyina nchen na de ye ya kura ne se we nyina echi yabu ye ni aguso Yankasai, yes, so dear, yeah, you said Dr. Punini said, we're going to get innocent. Omonko so na omumum crew. And it's prosecution every the side of the story. She said, as a student of law, prosecution close in the case you are. And sana accused person, you know, it may be any defense, you know. Or to me, the friend of submission of no case to answer.
Yeah.
So let's just say the officer of change and say, would see prosecution in crew now, my body or my dance or my diabena, and say or more accused persons, no, or more default and on my body. And I send him where I would rather send me in as to be, I was a court to a bogu. And Sakran or more day, I be on defense. They are saying that it's not even necessary for them to open their defense into court no more because there is no case to answer. At that point now, Dr. Puni then a lawyer for a submission of no case application. Not justice when you get baby bua. Oh bua no say there is a case to answer. Or the siwa or the any problem yeah. Oh there was dismissed submission of no case. And one of the reasons why in here what dismiss here. No problem. But go ahead. Like justice when you get went ahead. Say 2 things he did, which was very serious in our opinion. Say I undermine Dr. Puni. And he said, we'll go right to fair trial. And they say, what's number one? Dr. Punini said, we'll go no carbonena, ya two almost, or my dada. No more, so we be defraud the cocoa board. Now, the Dr. Puni and only pass a bemo minor husika and a boataya or ye. This is the judge. Would you be a someone? Nipa Krono is supposed to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. He has not been proven guilty. He has not even opened his defense. I say na why submission of no case. Onyan tie na no asem. Utimi bu adukumfu. Say ampampa bone no waye na onimpa so say ade na oye no ebe maga na boka no oye. Emre ni wonti anka me kan at least 2 paragraphs of the judge na kan in his judgment. Conclusively no e so clear say we pronounce Dr. Puni guilty. Ebien adancing kata abaina nkata de back court exhibits say or the baba bibia dance say Dr. Puni edifo wamaga na boka ewo say do agongo fertilizer bi or the supply cocoa board na de keka ho obi nyame a won pe bone enam say persecution no moye and no prosecution ti no omo ba court nkrata ni mu do motwe 18 nyina di adanse ye say Dr. Puni anye boni bia omo say o Dr. Puni amaya ntese fertilizer omo nkrata a omo de ba ye no di adanse say omaye. In fact, there is even a standard authority tester prosecution nekita omo I say the fertilizer was good. I know so much suppress. Not just the witness statements by the farmers, say fertilizer and even that test by standards authorities or mass suppress. Then 18 exhibits. That shows that Dr. Puni anya bonidiano. Judge say wabogu. Meanwhile, sa exhibits no sa dancing kata no. Obi temi yo. Abino prosecution no at Gofredame. And our deba court. And our tender through or no dance for. Our moody dance here. Etia Dr. Punini said Wagongo. And Obia are objected. And Omuankasa attended the exhibits through their own witnesses. How then do you exclude that evidence, which was not objected to, which the court has already admitted as part of the evidence, and which exculpates the accused person? It says Omunya Bonidia. Adenti and I will shoot. Let's just say Adams Yedia. Ebemanaya Class Dr. Pudinia Bonidia and the Yanshimu. But other with exhibits which were tendered by the same Attorney General, the same prosecution, through the same witnesses, in that same manner. Or say, I know the Kotia Dr. Punini said, I know the Wajato. Adia were Bura draining so. The Supreme Court, 5 justices of the Supreme Court, for the first time in the history of Ghana, Omumumi and Saka said, wait here, Dr. Clemens Onunuga or Yenuya, even though he's the Supreme Court judge, the Supreme Court justices, no, and can say, Nuntino, Omoma attention in Yeduma, Omaka say, under the circumstances, the judge has shown that there is a real likelihood of bias. There is a real likelihood of also the assessment of bias. And you 3 justices of the Supreme Court of Ghana. And Omaka said, you prohibited judge on an entrance and this will be. Oh, Kwensima na Gofredame, Attorney General. Also a Minister for Justice, but also a Minister for Injustice. So, Chinchina judge win was here mandi dia seven. Now I go Supreme Court, you see review. Yeah, the judge for me no aka home. Na yasesano. Inti judge ya na dia seven. After all the things are why in the case which have not been reversed.
Yeah, but I mean, the other point, maybe answer now because our point. From everything you've said so far, and say you stay with Opunimu Dienimpa court, no, and as you know, within the court system, no, the appellate system. In this our court, you move upper with an appeal, say interpretation of Supreme Court, and all of that. It is a now we base on the SCO be a high court in Kwa, and the Casa and to be right is being trampled upon. Nah, and you are basically saying justice system, Ninano, and Shadanya Papania there. It is not proper.
Wait a minute, those are your words, yeah, and you can say. First part, the Menamekai. The second part is justice system. I'm not sure. We have serious issues with our justice system as a party, but not just the NDC. Now, CNCDD Afro Barometer survey
Asempa FM.
It shows 84% Ghana for or how much you go watching 9 say Omuni say Ghana ye courts impartial or fair Ghana for. So it is not even NDC verdict in Kwa. That is the verdict of 84% of Ghanaians. What am I saying? Now, I know, and I answer that can't want to be brisa because you have a special press conference next week on the judiciary. Any a choir on what the NDC in paying for your lawyer for be fast for you free say again 10 clear cases of injustice. Now, Yatre and Amoa be true in protest against Anyamana judiciary. My NDC stay on this human rights violation.
Yeah, but on the human rights violation, no?
Yabeka judiciary, anyhow they are treating persons associated with the NDC. We will address that next week until we will have another conversation.
On the human rights violation, no? On the human rights violation, no? How do you justify a claim say there is human rights violation in Opunia Sema Waken when exhaustive process?
the right to fair trial has been suppressed because number one, evidence exculpatory evidence and what the custody of the prosecution has been suppressed.
Yeah, but you move up to another court.
Yeah,
Go to the appeals
up
court.
to where? Asempa I can do Supreme Court review. After Supreme Court review,
no review. The only was on whether Honyenyegas will sit on the case or not. See, who can say about discovery process now. When you access to some documents, no, and we call Supreme Court.
So let's even grant you, Obi. Say we have the right to appeal. Don't we also have the right to express ourselves? Don't we have the freedom of speech? So the two are not mutually exclusive.
But in expressing yourself,
we can do both.
In expressing yourself, Nasame, say if there is a process and exhausted here, you don't express yourself by indicting that process when you've not exhausted all the available
particular one, we are indicting the prosecution, which is the government of the Republic of Ghana. The one that we are indicting the judiciary system, our unhappiness with the decision with regards to whether or not Justice Hunyejuga can do justice in this case and whether he or not he is the right judge to preside on this case. We are saying, so far, we agree with the three justices of the Supreme Court to say, obey bias, and yadia, Dr. Punibenya justice. Because Obia Wonyan Yasemun Ye, now we accused persons in the Fodada. Obia or your henny, now I campaign say to Abamo and Penya Akufo-Addo. Obia, you kind of saying, I mean, so many things. Nancy, Dr. Puni, that's also your application, say on recusing one. Or say Dr. Puni, said in previous. And yet, Dr. Puni, a lawyer and file application and a lawyer and also argue. And a judge, Ebua, Asem, Obuano. Respectfully, His Lordship Justice Hunyejuga said, Dr. Puni said, Najumukano. Nadia Wakekano, said, Okasasa Bodamini, he is hallucinating. Obi, how can a judge talk about an accused person like that? If it's an accused person free, say you should recuse yourself. I want to file application. No file application. Is it right to say he's hallucinating? And that is why senior lawyers like Professor Ansari, under the circumstances, he doesn't think that the judge will not be biased. And it is right for the same judge.
Yeah, but the review panel of the Supreme Court disagrees. And Omomu decision is standing. And once it has gone...
decision is standing, I say also your voice.
Yeah,
we can express ourselves.
But once it has gone to the Supreme Court, court nankasa tena review panel no ababe disagree. Say Hunyejuga can continue. In passing your commentary around this, no, you cannot then say nipa no fa hudie ometieti. So when he has exhausted the processes, so how do you say
are you saying is there? So Usian law.
Yes.
Time one. So you know the case of Inri Akutu,
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
Obi, you know the case of Inri Akutu, Meboa. Answer.
Sammy Gyamfi.
So you know that case, Meboa.
Yes, at least every law student knows that case.
It was a unanimous decision by the Supreme Court to say. Osaje for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah Mbrasa Amre no dia be Preventive Detention Act. And the church Yame Bafwa Kutu and 7 others atum without trial. Samrano was not against the constitution. Yewra JB Dan Kwamo arguments of ye nyina say PDA. It's a constitution because president no swear oath to be na sa oath no constitute a bill of rights ni nyina no Supreme Court no ka say. Enya no kre. Na oath Kwame Nkrumah swear no it came to the coronation oath of the Queen of England. Enya mra and constitute bill of rights. And the Supreme Court bore assembly buye. And about for the Akutum court for them. And are you saying that because the Supreme Court said that case, the state was right, there was no violation of the rights of Bafo Kutu and those 7 others? Is that your suggestion? Don't talk like that because you know, as a law student said, Ope case the most unpopular case in Ghana, the judicial system. It is in Riakutu. A judge for a lawyer for you now, boss our court and she say, Omu decision was a travesty of justice. Now, Oma Marano and Neduma, Oma Manipa found with the way they interpreted the constitution. So, what am I telling you? The fact is a Supreme Court review panel, Akase, Dr. Puni case, Justice Onyuga can still sit on it, doesn't mean, say, the 4 justices of the Supreme Court are right and the 3 are wrong. We are going to put the court unanimous, but time has shown that they were all wrong. So how can you tell me, say, a 4-3 decision, we cannot criticize that decision and say that decision is a travesty of justice, and that, in our opinion, we think that there is a real likelihood of bias against the accused person should Justice Clemens Onyuga continue presiding over the case. We are entitled to say so, and we have sent a petition to the Commonwealth of Nations. Say, Ebeya, Omontia Bejuko no Momra no Mombe Fiesta Samoa Yekemuna. Yet the dance Yebeba. Unim says Zimbabwe. Citizens be a complaint be against Mugabe Abai. Emma, a lead to the suspension of Zimbabwe from the Commonwealth of Nations. And what is that? Commonwealth Nations no more than Yakama and Yano Kombagu. And Yano Creswa, Omoni Abani Bedim Komo. Because Ghana is a sovereign country, which means Shayen. But Moni Abani Bedim Komo, actually Abana, Adriasi Yemebia, or Ya Mwaso. Now, your free says Abani Tia, Ebeboy, Nabana Tia, na Commonwealth. See, I have a quiet Munabemi and Santi, Ombetuan Amombia. This is any other Boama, Tanya Muna ended. As a journalist, are you happy with how journalists are being treated in this country?
Sammy,
as they may say, Unya or mine or suggesting say, journalists be or Modiano, Yamrane, Juma, because criminal complaints have been made against them. It's actions are which Naka say against press freedom. But he was totally wrong because say I'm a swallowing you kumna. Clear attack on press freedom. We have not seen the killers. Say Captain Smarter. Number one, there is no complainant against Captain Smart. But even if there is a complainant against Captain Smart, and Captain Smart as a journalist, in the line of his duty as a journalist, Abina could charge of extortion against him without a complainant.
No, but how do you draw the conclusion, say the charges were cooked when it is a case before court?
Because there is no complainant in that case. Captain Smart, and if there is no, you cannot charge somebody for extortion when we don't know the one he extorted money from.
So why don't you allow the court to decide?
Allow what?
The case is in court.
So let's allow the prosecution to finish. But Obi, allow. But why is it that if the same court that you took the person to gives the person bail, you will not respect the bail? That order for bail and give him bail. Yeah, my Captain Smart bail or fulfilling the bail conditions that same day. Yet you need to show him power lies. And you have another journalist saying, say, I know the attack on press freedom.
Another journalist be and say attack on press. Is it a reporter speech? I say, well, the car will show we so.
Nia Metie recorded one on Facebook, and there the suggestion was that we should differentiate between Obia journalists via or Nejuma in the line of duty. Ya attacking and you will be an accusation of crime against. Let me say that accusation of crime that Moka wants in the Captain Smart case. It is connected to his work, and that is why there is something called malicious prosecution. That prosecution is clearly malicious because you are charging somebody for extortion without a complaint. It's like nobody able to.
No, but are you
panic?
Are you sure?
Fear and panic without a complainant.
Sammy,
for fear and panic for saying say. Obiato Ghana Airport Company assassin.
No, anything America Charles say, you probably have not been listening to Mehiasem because Utie Mehiasem and your reported speech on the Bobie matter. No, you will not even bring it up because our position.
No. What I'm saying I've got nothing to do with Bobie. No, what I am disagreeing with,
yes,
Emilia or Mahine on has to do with the Captain Smart angle.
And I'm saying, even on the Captain Smart,
to you, Obia, you have condemned it. What do you say?
Even on the Captain Smart angle, no. Are you sure? Said there was no complainant in that case. I mean,
there was no complainant in that case. That's my check. Call government spokespersons now. Obi, they are humanitarian to Afrewomo. And apart from within a line, also, they should tell us who is the complainant in that case. They should tell us. They should give us a name, and let's find out from that person if it's the complainant. And maybe point, even if there is a complainant, Obi, Yama obi bail. Jane. Kwedi ene Oliver. Yes, you obi dina no aka. Say obey you. Yache. No problem. Chena match no. You have the right of arrest. But you know the law. Dan Parry, you know the law. Godfrey Dami, you know the law. That treason a trial on indictment. Trial by indictment.
Yes.
Who to be found will be a charging of treason. And court, not magistrate anymore, the straight court. Obi, you know that.
But the committal proceedings would have to begin there, no?
But if they didn't send him there for committal proceedings, are you getting me?
But that's
that is why the court told them that we don't have jurisdiction. And if the court didn't decline jurisdiction, then it means accused person, no, you me money bill, you bury man.
Yeah, but what the court said,
and they went to that court knowing that the court didn't have jurisdiction. Nipani the Musa, ready Oliver, ready Manasseh, Manigane court South Africa. So why expose a tiabai? I say abai no tini a teacher for be usu abankesi. Ready it with the tea of Star FM. Yes, why you remove say then upper East Regional Minister or Yegalam said near the yes, you cool on the bush for you have to run.
Ekosiisen on
Asempa.
Asempa
When against journalists, against NDC for Obi, you come nipa and watching. President of Ghana can't watch it. And then the Ukraine and Russia come to come and then Oko Kasakrama, Wako Kabekayen. What our citizens you are murdering them? What have you said about it? I have also has he even said anything about it? What has he heard? Dr. Opuni. If they are your brothers or Obi, let's call the spade and not a digging too.
Sammy,
why justice on your Dr. Punia seminar? Or take your accused persons, right to fair trial. So that is the position of the NDC, and that position is supported by 3 justices of the Supreme Court. And we have read their decisions, and we agree with them. The majority disagree with us, fine, but we are saying that the majority is wrong, respectfully, in this case, and we're entitled to say so. And finally, Honorable Akufo-Addo. Oh, just because Honorable Akufo-Addo, as the ranking member of finance, as the original said, e-levy, the Ahocheba to Ghana for so. E-levy, as soon as say was e-levy, a best say Ghana, your digitalization agenda, and you bubro nebeba Ghana, and yet the solution to the problems are, and now mind you face
Ekosiisen
now
on Asempa
the constituents and the people of Ghana, you know. You have to Okrano, Owabemuno, now you're deputy minister for finance. Now, near Quaco ambulance be now o boss in you. When I want guarantee say and conquer ambulance near Cotobai, near papa. And if you 2017 be seen there, you can't watch and be a very levy. I was a one year, why you gang the Lientino, or you bet you be Kaka. Yeah, you don't cocoa to it, near dinner. Oh, Sanya way, you know.
No, Sammy, Oka say ye Obian because even chapter 5 of your Constitution say Oshe the article that talks about protection of personal liberties into Article 14.2. Eka say a person who is arrested, restricted, or detained shall be informed immediately in a language that he understands of the reasons for his arrest, restriction, or detention, and of his right to a lawyer of his choice. Clause 3, 4, Nina Ekeka about amount for personal liberties. And in the case of Akufo-Addo, the state is prosecuting him in court, or a right to a lawyer. Charges preferred against him has been made known to him in a language he understands. The court process is underway and all of that. Based on then, I will say a unfair trial. Na the rights have been trampled upon. Sound your money for him.
I started with Chamofus Wampofu Asem, and I've shown you clearly how our prosecution is suppressing evidence. Actually, so prosecution, attend a witness statement which should not have been accepted by the court, because that witness statement, witness now on who the dance
and then, but that should be good news for the defense. Since the prosecution in the case is weaker, then the defense should go.
But does that stop the opposition from calling out the government of the day and saying, what they're doing is persecution and not prosecution? So I'm trying to tell you that the two are not mutually exclusive. Sort of point I made on, I say, yeah, what can you womb? A do time a parties mean now close to Mukeza or Moya almost submissions are. The lawyers will raise as to whether or not the court will treat it with the importance it deserves, and it's another matter. But my point is that the fact that we can raise it at that stage of the trial in future doesn't mean that we cannot call out government that they are persecuting Euro Ofuswampofo. It doesn't also mean say the fact that Supreme Court say Justice Onyenyuga or review panel 4-3 say majority say obetunyat national say we cannot complain about it. We can still call out the government if for nothing at all. The same way air pending the Attorney General for Minister for Justice, who has now turned himself into a Minister for Injustice, went to UK and said, Dr. Punidie, he is the icon of corruption of the Eswa Mahama regime, an Attorney General, and said, Dr. Puni is running away from the accountability, but to catch up with it. Like prejudicial comment. And then you come and look at the decision of the court on the submission of no case. And the matter has been so prejudged that even non-lawyers who read those paragraphs get stunned. That a judge who has not heard the defense of an accused person will make statements that suggest that the accused person has already been pronounced guilty. Okay, I say, and we have raised this issue all the way to the top.
Very well.
And so we don't have a problem. We don't have any problem using the judicial system to challenge some of these things. But we are saying that whilst we are doing that, we can also exercise our freedom of speech by speaking against these things.
Okay.
And we can also petition bodies like the Commonwealth of Nations and draw their attention
to step in.
So that they can also draw the government's attention and in the hope that the government will change its course.
Okay.
So
because we are educating the public, no. I mean, I asked a question about Captain Smart Assembly, whether you are sure said there was no complainant. I would refer you to a story published widely, actually, where citynewsonline.com. I must say, broadcaster Blessed God Brain Smart, aka Captain Smart, has found himself in fresh trouble as the state is chasing him for alleged extortion. Before the Accra Circuit Court 6 today, Wednesday, presided over by His Honor KK Obriyeboa, Captain Smart was charged with 2 counts of extortion with the use of threat together with one Eric Daniels Darcy Copperfield, alias GH Boy, who is alleged to have facilitated Captain Smart's alleged extortion, who is also being charged with abetment of crime. The complainant, Ahmed Kwabna Nkrumah, a businessman based in Tema, said Captain Smart demanded 100,000 Ghana cedis from him to overlook a story of fishy dealings he was allegedly engaged in at the port. The story,
and I'm telling you,
yes,
the story is not wrong because the story is reporting what the prosecution said in court.
Absolutely.
And I am telling you on authority that pay my investigations. And it's just a matter of time to create the public. Who say the person now is a complainant and he has not made any complaint of extortion against Captain Smart. There is no complainant.
Let's wait
the
for
matter
that.
Is contrived. That's what I'm saying.
Let's wait for that time. At least the fact in court.
That's what I'm saying.
The fact in court now no shows.
And I've even told you, sir.
Yes.
Even assuming without admitting that there's a complainant, shouldn't all of us be concerned? So even when a court grants Captain Smart bail, the national security would deliberately refuse him bail. They did the same thing to Mensa Thompson of Asempa. Oh, and it is going on. It has become one too many. Bobby answer say, Kennedy Japan. I can say NPP Penyufobi F from Ghana Airport Company. As I say no question, then Bobby as a journalist on any crew and Ghana Airport Company as I say. Ekosiisen signboard so. Rebecca Foundation do so. So the video it and go and do a story say. In Sasena Kennedy Japan, NPP Penyufo form no. Ghana Airport Company as Ebinia ya mami oba penyi antibeki Ghana ba penyi wakwa kofe ya na we say causing that information no a publication of false news to cause fear and alarm obi
Sammy, we've made our point clear on that issue. It's in court now. And let's see what the court will decide. But Mami Nase for your time, BBN, you best say about
now what you about Ghana, Ikasem, is it the Omane Bow and $7.30
you bedding come within the week.
Is Ghana.
You bedding come within the week.
Mate per time na yemrefi ba ye medin komo about the metia Dominic Isiabuane e wa powerful
so Sammy Gyamfi and the International Communications Officer of the NDC Ekosiisen so high Asempa 94